I'm curious on why salespeople do this one thing. And maybe not all salespeople do it. Maybe this is just a thing that car salespeople do. And maybe not even all car salespeople do it. Maybe it's just the ones I've been around in the 20 years that I've been doing this. So if this happens in your sales industry or at your car dealership, let me know if it happens. If it doesn't happen, man, let me know that as well. But when a salesperson goes outside to try to sell somebody a car or a vehicle, or they pick up the phone or internet or wherever they're trying to sell these people a vehicle, and they go outside, and after talking to them for 10 to 20 minutes, whatever the case is, the customer leaves. And this next thing is what happens so often, and I'm not sure why. So I'm curious to know why and if you see it happen all the time. And if you do this, be humble enough to let me know why. All right, before we get to the video, I need a little bit of your help. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done that, and most importantly, please send this video to one or two people that you know could really use some motivation, and maybe this video will just help them out. All right, let's get right to it. Why do you come inside and find the first salesperson or two to explain that customer that just came here wasn't actually looking to buy a vehicle, and they were just here wasting your time, and they said this and they did this and they're this and they're unreasonable about this, and what they're looking for doesn't exist? Why do you do that? Why do you literally take your time, go track somebody else down, and explain to them why you couldn't sell them a vehicle, but instead of taking responsibility for it, you always place blame on the customer? Honestly, why? Now, I'm not going to deny that I didn't do this when I was a salesperson, because I probably did. But anymore, I just don't care. I just don't care. Like, if I try to sell somebody a vehicle and I get involved in a conversation and it doesn't go anywhere, I'm so conditioned to then explain what I did wrong and what I should have done better after they leave. I've conditioned myself to place blame on myself, because I realized that when I blame myself for a mistake or something that didn't happen, at least then I'll tell myself what I should have done better to then give myself a better chance to sell those people next time. I don't know. I mean, I kind of understand why people do this, but why can't you? But you need to break the cycle. You just need to break the cycle. Like, it's okay to fail. This business, we fail more than we win. It's okay. You're not being judged by anybody. Oh, you might be judged by a few people, but you're not being judged every single customer. I get that you can't sell every customer, but what I think we should do is we should try to sell every customer. We should try to help them out the exact same way every single time, and get a process and get it and actually get good at what we're doing. Like, get good at our product knowledge, get good at our process, like actually be the professional that the customer is actually looking for. And instead, we try to speed the process up once we realize, or we think, that the customer's not buying. It's like everything goes out the window because we don't want to waste our time, because we got to sell something. We got to make money. But here's the other thing that I don't understand. I get it. We have a job to do. We only get paid when we sell something. 100% agree. Try to sell something. That's the job. That's how we get paid. But I also don't understand why you would go outside to talk to a customer and then decide they're not buying. So you rush the process. You don't follow it. You do a really shitty job, all because you're like, well, I don't want to waste my time. I got to sell something today. Then you go inside, you go sit back at your desk, you cruise Facebook, social media, YouTube, talk shit, but you don't do anything that has any chance of you selling another vehicle or you improving yourself. You actually do the polar opposite. You go drowned out in noise for the next 15 to 30 minutes and just complaining about that customer that you had to deal with. And then the cycle just continues to happen over and over and over again. Now, there's numerous reasons why this happens. And most of them you have to control yourself. One of the main things that I've come to realize is your financial situation. You place blame on your financial situation. You place blame on you not selling anything, you speeding up the process because you got to make money, you got bills to pay, you don't have any money in the bank. Therefore, you shortcut everything for the short-term thinking of, I got to go sell something today, I got to make money. And instead, this business is for the long-term thinkers. This isn't a month-to-month job. This is a year-to-date job. This is a build the pipeline, build the relationship. That's what this job is. Now, yeah, who doesn't love quick wins and want to sell something today? Of course, and that's always going to happen. But you would be so surprised that if you changed your mindset and stopped coming to work for the money and you came for the security of the long-term job and you started placing emphasis on the year-to-date, you would be surprised that if you just kept going with certain customers that you'd normally give up on, you'd be surprised that they would actually buy something. And then all of a sudden, you start getting into this habit. And then you start like telling the universe, like, hey, I'm here to help everybody. My job is to help them. Not to sell them, is to help them. Customers feel it. When you're desperate, customers feel that. Do you want to go buy something from somebody who's desperate and who has to make money? No, because you're probably going to get a shitty deal on whatever it is you're buying. But when somebody generally cares, they're trying to find the right vehicle for you, they're making sure that they don't steer you in the wrong direction, they got your best interest in mind, at least that's what it feels like, you want to do business with those people. This is a tough one, though. This money thing is tough because it's real. Like, you got to put gas in your car. You got to put food on the table. You got to pay rent. You got to pay electricity. You got to pay bills. So it's a tough one to overcome. But it's probably the one of the most important things that in the car business, if you don't figure this out, you're going to struggle your entire career. You'll just struggle your entire career because you'll show up and you're always like in this catch-up mode. Like, you make some money, you spend it, you got to make more, you don't have enough, you have one bad month. It's a vicious cycle that if you don't handle right now today, you're just going to learn to hate this business. It's going to be a terrible business for you to be in. So yeah, anyway, back to the previous conversation. I'm just really curious why you do that. Why instead you don't walk in and start to learn where you messed up and how you get better. Why is that not a thing? Am I the only one that does that? Guys, do better. Get better. Invest time into this career. Invest time to get better. Know your product knowledge better than everybody. Know the process better than everybody. Make the deals easy for the customer. Know how they want to buy the car and allow them to buy the car the way they want to buy the car. Stop trying to lead them to the way you want them to buy the car. You deserve to do better. You deserve to do better, and your customer deserves to do better, and the dealership that's invested in you deserves better. Everybody deserves better. But you got to decide today, you're done with the bullshit. You're done making excuses. Go in the corner, start crying, do whatever you got to do, get it all out, and wake up a new person tomorrow. Wake up a new person, have a new vision, and go conquer it. This business has done so well for me over the years, so well for me over the years, and I just don't value the money like others. I want to make as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I don't value it as like everybody else. I don't value my time the way others value their time at the dealership. I value my time as important as when I'm with a customer, that's my time is spent correctly. When I'm not with the customer, I'm wasting my time. So if I'm with a customer who I don't feel like is going to buy a car, my time is still better spent with that customer than not a customer, than not having a customer. You guys value your time as you're with a customer. You don't think they're going to buy a car. That's a waste of your time. So you would rather go do whatever other bullshit that you're trying to say you're doing because you don't want to waste your time on that customer. You guys got it backwards. If you're not with a customer, you're wasting your time. Okay? You're wasting your time if you're not with a customer. If you're training, you're improving yourself, okay, then yes, your time is getting spent a little bit better. But nothing is more important than you spending your time with the customer. Even if they're not buying. There's no better way to practice than on somebody who's actually looking to buy something. All right, guys. Have a great day. Share this video. Do whatever you want. Don't listen. I don't care. Some will, some won't. Whatever. But at the end of the day, if you want to improve, it takes change. Change is hard. You got to be consistent. Hey, go try to prove me wrong.
We all show up, but we ain't built the same. One's chasing glory, one's playing the game. One's got the gift, don't break a sweat. The other's out here grinding with nothing left. One wants the crowd, the lights, the fame. The other's in the dark, just building a name. One was born with it, one had to grow. One's got talent, one's got hustle.